from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I did it earlier. I had to do a retake because I said moys and girls. You see, moys and girls, is that something they put on sandwiches in Australia? And I say they might. Or in Australia, they say, what is that? Is that stuff Americans put on their toast? Yeah, it's moys and girls. It's a sandwich spread. Made from, if it was in America, it'd say it's made from, it's a defense contractor that makes it, the company they own. Totally good for you. Boys and girls, put it on your sandwich. Used it in an intro of a sleep podcast because that's where we are now. If you're wondering, it's actually time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, before we move on to episode here, I just want to let you know, Sleep With Me is a safe place. Ideally, that's what I'm trying to create, where I can take your mind off of stuff and keep you company while you drift off. It's a port in a storm, or sometimes just something that feels stormy, or that really is stormy. You know what I mean? It's a harbor, I guess. It's a place where I try to think of metaphors unsuccessfully, but it's built on empathy and compassion, or trying to understand and trying to figure out how I can live those values. And that's really what guides the show. I can be here for you, and I can be here for a lot of other people, but that means supporting you. So if you have extra needs right now, there's organizations you can connect with right now in the show notes, text lines and helplines. And if you want to support the members of our community, if you want to say Black Lives Matter with your actions, there's links to organizations to help you get started. Or if you're further along on the path, to deepen the commitment you already have to supporting the lives of the Black members of our community. So those links are in our show notes. And here's also the links to these sponsors that I'm going to talk about that enable me to be here for free coming up here are in the show notes as well. Thanks. All right, everybody, this is Scoots. I'm so excited to talk about Apollo Neuro, the amazing wearable. I've been wearing it morning, noon, and night, especially thanks to other listener feedback, other listeners that have purchased the Apollo Neuro and have been telling me their experience with it. But where the Apollo Neuro really excels is in my wind down and my falling asleep. And that's why you listen to Sleep With Me, right? Well, the good news is the Apollo Neuro is one of these safe, effective new ways for you to take control and get the rest you need. Apollo Neuro was developed by physicians and neuroscientists. It's a new wearable device that helps you relax, fall asleep, and sleep more deeply. Apollo engages with your sense of touch using gentle vibrations that train your nervous system to go from fight or flight to rest and digest more quickly so you can focus, sleep, and be more productive day and night. The Apollo Neuro app, it has 7 modes that help you choose how you want to feel. So I use their relaxed setting as a part of my wind down routine, and then I use their sleep setting when I go to sleep, and then about halfway through the night when I wake up, I'll turn it back on for another 2 hours. They have a wake up setting that I use when I wake up, and then during the day, I've started to use their focus setting. And unlike having to use stimulants to stay awake or depressants to help you fall asleep, Apollo Neuro is a natural, easy way to stay energized and focused throughout the day and to help you unwind and get the restful sleep you need. And this is one that I love hearing from the listeners, because I was say, hey, it helps me focus in the middle of the day. That was the one time I wasn't using it. I said, oh, wow, this is great. So learn why thousands of other people already use Apollo Neuro as a drug-free alternative to improve their sleep and improve their resilience to stress. And of course, we've got an amazing deal for you. So this is a special offer just for Sleep With Me listeners. Try Apollo Neuro today and get 15% off your purchase at apolloneuro.com/sleepwithme. That's apolloneuro.com/sleepwithme. APOLLONEURO.com/sleepwithme to get 15% off your purchase. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. It's time for me to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix. And I'm going to make it really easy for you. I just laid down in my bed before I recorded this, and I love my Helix Dusk Lux. I feel like it was made just for me and my sleep needs. So I want to ask you, like, what's your feeling about the bed you're in right now while you're listening? Like, what's your relationship with your mattress like? And where did you get it? How long have you had it? What made you purchase the mattress you're in now? Because I know in the past, I've just had mattresses I've come across or have been there or they've been handed down, or one I got because I got a super great deal on it, but I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like it was made for me. And that's what the experience with working with Helix is like. That's what listener after listener after listener has told me. And they make it easy. Helix Sleep has a quiz. It just takes 2 minutes to complete. It matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Like, why would you buy a mattress, like I'm saying, made for someone else? With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you know will be perfect for the way you sleep. Wouldn't that feel nice? Wouldn't it be something you look forward to? And everybody's unique. Helix knows that. They have several different mattress models to choose from. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses that are great for cooling down if you sleep hot. There's even a Helix Plus mattress for plus size folks. And I took the Helix quiz and I got matched, like I said, with the Dusk Luxe because I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach, I sleep pretty hot. And I wanted something that fit those needs. You know, I just don't want a mattress that's for everybody. That's never worked right. And I love my bed. I also love hearing from the listeners who share in their Instagram stories, sending me their unboxing videos, posting them on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. It is so awesome to see the other models of Helix and that people say, this is a mattress made just for me. So it's that easy. You look for a mattress, you take the quiz, you order the mattress you're matched to. The mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't ever have to go to a store. And Helix is awesome. You don't got to take my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. Just go to helixsleep.com/sleep. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz and they'll match you to a customized mattress that'll give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, so you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will. And they have an awesome deal. Not only can you get a mattress you feel great about, you could get a great deal on it. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. That's at helixsleep.com/sleep. That's Helix, HELIX sleep.com/sleep for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows at helixsleep.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time for the Sleepy Supporter Zone, the loudest part of the podcast, a part of the podcast I need you to hear. It's where I thank the listeners who supported the sponsors. That's how I'm able to be here for you for free. So I want to thank Pop in November, Jason, who supported Apollo, got an Apollo band, actually gave you some tips on different times of day. Jason uses it in the afternoon. That's the one time of the day I'm not using my Apollo band. BetterHelp, Tiffany connected with BetterHelp and a great therapist. And Kristen signed up for Daily Harvest. Thank you, Jason, Tiffany, and Kristen for supporting the sponsors, letting them know about it. If you support a sponsor, particularly one with a free trial right now, we have a couple free trials that might be wrapping up. And these are companies I really feel close to. So please, if you sign up for a free trial, let me know about it, or this is your chance to do it for free. Support the podcast. So if you sign up for Beachbody or Headspace, not only let me know about it, let them know about it, but also let me know what programs you're using. Or if you sign up for that Warby Parker at-home try-on, let me see some of your specs, right? So that's the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone, or the first part of it, actually. Got a little too excited there. The second part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is you getting the support you need. If you're having a tough time right now, there's links to organizations you can connect with right now in the show notes. Text lines and helplines, please use those. And then it's about supporting the members of our community, saying Black Lives Matter with our actions, and there's organizations that you can get started with in our show notes as well. And the last part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is something I support, and I'm trying to put some local support to start this year off and support some local organizations that are connecting with people in need. And I'd love to hear about it online. Carl W., the legend who edits the shows, is going to give me a list of organizations that he's connecting with. So let me know. Let's amplify this on social media if we can and get some local support going across the globe, because we're all local somewhere. And that's the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Oh, Mystery Bart, a lot of people help out on this show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Carl W. the legend. Also Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer, and Ashley. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the mystery bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at jonathanmann.net. I'll write a song for you. It's almost Christmas, y'all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. We're raising money for the Water Wheel Foundation, and Scooter might get a
Thanks, Mr. Bard. I'm at Dear Scooter on Twitter or Instagram. That's where you can find me. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. And what I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake. It could be things, whatever it is. If it's things on your mind that you're thinking about, so whatever's keeping you thoughts, things on your mind from the past, present, or future, or just there. Calculations. Holy cow. Calculations and calculators, stay out of my bed, please. There's somewhere out there's a hopefully a scientific calculator that said, Scoots, I thought we had something. And I say, yeah, in proper context, but not in my bed. Well, I don't know, Scoots, I thought I was a solar calculator. Are you one of those solar calculators that works like, here's another technology I'll have to explain to my daughter, and she'll laugh hysterically. But actually, let's come back to that, because holy cow, talk about how come how come there are now tons of like journals, like long form articles glorifying solar calculators, and you'll understand why. I'm beginning to there was that movie about the electric car before this current generation of electric cars. And I'm beginning to wonder if they weren't looking in the wrong place. You say, who forgot to glorify the solar calculator? Well, it won't be me. When people, one day when they look back at underrated things we never appreciated, you say, Scoots, didn't you just say that you don't want any calculators in your bed? And it sounds like you turned down some sort of relationship with calculator. Was it a sentient calculator or just one you're projecting meaning onto? Well, of course I was projecting it onto there because, anyway, there's new lists. So if your thoughts are keeping you awake, hopefully we'll get back to the solar calculators. Thoughts keeping you awake. It could be feelings, anything emotionally coming up for you. It could be physical sensations. It could be your schedule, your family, whatever it is that's keeping you awake. I'd like to take your mind off of that and keep you company while you fall asleep. And I have a certain method like we kind of use for Sleep With Me. I guess kind of use is the best way to do. So here's what I'm thinking I'm going to do, or here's what I normally do every episode. But I guess when I say here's what I'm thinking, see if this will work for you if you're new. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones. So a voice that you're hearing, not traditionally a soothing voice, but a voice that may soothe. It's more of to distract you. So I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm using lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones. Pointless meanders. I mean, we just got one with a superfluous tangent in there. And those are kind of things that you use, filler words, unformed sentences, a lot of different tangents, all that stuff to keep you company while you fall asleep. Now, if you're new, a couple of things I want to run by here, or to make you aware of. This is a podcast you don't really listen to. It's a podcast you barely pay attention to. It's just kind of there in the background, and you're kind of listening, and you're saying, solar calculators. I think I saw one of those. Or some of you are saying, I remember those. They would work as soon as you opened them up in almost any light. And they also had a battery. And that was like 1984 or 1991 or 1978. I don't know what year it was, but it could have been one of those years. And suddenly you're saying to yourself, wait a second, Scoots might have a point there. Those calculators worked. That's undisputed. Okay, but if we're getting into SAT questions, some of those calculators worked that I remember. So that's the kind of logic that you say, well, it's not faulty logic. I wouldn't call it traditional logic either. I would call it logic. Is there something called like logic-like or logic-esque? No. Okay, well, that's the kind of logic I have to propose that. So it's a podcast that is like just out of focus. So you kind of barely listen to it. I think I said that. Then the other thing is this podcast doesn't really put you to sleep. It's just here to keep you company. And it's this weird kind of keeping you company. It's just like these calculators I'll hopefully talk about. Like, talk about a tree falling in the woods. Those calculators were always ready to go. And again, very much like Sleep With Me, you just kind of barely needed them, at least for me. I know there's people out there, and holy cow, I'm thankful for you, that are good at calculations. I have dyslexia, so it's never been my forte. But, like I always say, my forte, Will Forte, but not calculators. Will Forte using a calculator? I'd like to see that. I think that would be pretty entertaining. Or Will Forte walking around. Will Forte, calculations of Will Forte. That could be when he does a speaking tour one day. That also rhymed unintentionally. So, I'm not really here to put you to sleep. I'm here to keep you company while you drift off. That's why the shows are over an hour, so you have plenty of time. You say, no rush to fall asleep. And no pressure to listen. So that's like different than most podcasts. So I'm not sure how to feel. And I said, totally understandable. This podcast is very different. And with most sleep stuff, if you come here skeptical or doubtful or not even sure, that's a normal way to arrive at Sleep With Me. And for your first listener too, it can be a little bit, not jarring, but if there was a softer version of that, a little bit, you say, well, I'm kind of confused. And I say, well, that sounds like you're in the right place. But most regular listeners say, give the show 2 or 3 tries before you give up on it. Just because that's how long it takes to say, oh, wait, I don't listen. Oh, wait, the show it's always started and it never starts at the same time. Okay, just like that the solar calculator. Also, Scoot says stuff like makes associations that probably aren't associated like that. You say, yeah, it's like not a forced metaphor, but I'm putting square, for metaphor, not even metaphorically. I take square metaphors and put them in round holes all the time. That's how I organize my metaphors. Then I can never get them out. I say that metaphor's stuck in there. And I say, because that's a square metaphor in a round hole. I said, well, it's a cubby. That's my metaphor cubby. It's a metaphorical cubby? No, it's real. It's it's real in my imagination. It's real in my imagination. So it's not a metaphor. I don't think. But yeah, you're right. I did shove, and there are round metaphors and square holes. Those are a little bit easier to get out. And don't even get into my octagonal metaphors and my triangular ones, because they're jammed up. Oh boy, I'll be here all day. Luckily, I just invented something new. Metaphor lubricant. It lubricates your metaphors. And also metaphors can drink it, which is like metaphor after hours. My new book. Holy cow, I just thought of 5 ideas in one. or Metaphors After Dark. I guess it would go Metaphors After Hours would be the like 10 p.m. time slot, and then the 12 a.m. one would be Metaphors After Dark. Or maybe not. Maybe it goes the other way. Anyway, where was I? Oh, don't really listen to me. Give it a few tries. Structurally, this can really throw people off. And I try to talk about it a lot because I feel like, well, I guess if you have a strong reaction to this podcast, you're like, it's just not going to work for you. But we really haven't changed anything in the structure of the show in many, many years. So here's how the show goes. It starts off with a greeting, so you feel welcome, seen, and invited in. Then there's business. There's businesses supporting the listeners. There's our sponsors and our show support. And support when we support community or causes. So all that's at the beginning. Then there's the intro. So you get like a minute of tease, like the greeting, then a few minutes of business and sponsor stuff. Then about 16 to 20 minutes of intro. And I'll come back to the intro. Then there's business, like another 4 or 5 minutes of business. And then tonight we'll talk about the Mandalorian. And then there's thank yous at the end of the show. So that's a structure show. The intro, sometimes, I don't know, like, I guess some people probably listen, then they try to fast forward through the intro and they kind of realize that then they get frustrated because the intro goes on and on and on. Then they get to the business and then, so some people are like, oh, the show is just like 20 minutes of business. And it's like, no. Or why is there a 20-minute intro in it, like a 70-minute podcast? And I say, well, that's what I'm here to explain right now. So the intro is a way for me to introduce new people to the show and get you comfortable. But for regular listeners, it gives in new listeners, but sometimes you have to pay, you listen the first few times. But for regular listeners, it helps them wind down. It helps them leave the day behind, give them some distance, gives them something familiar to hear, but it's different every time so that your brain bots or whatever's keeping you awake can't quite adjust. So the intro is different every time, but it kind of has the same general feel. So you say, well, I can kind of barely listen because I know it's going to be kind of familiar, but kind of different. So some listeners like start getting ready for bed during the intro. Some listeners are in bed, getting comfortable or drifting off. Some listeners are doing some other relaxing activity. Some people start listening in the middle of the night when they wake up. Some people listen all night long. About 3% of people start the show at 20 or 22 minutes and listen there. And that gets you kind of closer at the beginning of the Mandalorian talk tonight. And then some people support the show on Patreon. They get story-only episodes. So it's kind of like as you become a regular listener, you say, oh, okay, well, I like to, pet my pets and, whatever, play a game of solitaire with real cards. And then I go to sleep while I'm listening to the intro. And so that's kind of the intro. And then, yeah, so it does, for new people, it may like, when's this podcast start? And I say, well, it's a sleep podcast. So it kind of is always starting and never starting, like I said earlier, at the same time. So that's that. The other things I want you to know if you're new or if you're a regular listener or if you're, your sleep is important to me because you deserve a good night's sleep. You really do. You deserve a place you can rest. You deserve some relief from the day. You deserve a bedtime where you actually feel neutral about it or you look forward to it versus dreading it like I have in the past. And if you get some sleep and some rest, you could, your life's more manageable and maybe you could be out there in the world flourishing. And any of those things makes the world a better place to be in. So that's important. It's important for your world to be more habitable. You know what I mean? And that's important to me. And one of the reasons it's important to me, other than that's just a fact, is that I've been there, dreading bedtime or waking up, all those things. So I know how it feels, those desperate feelings that can come up or other feelings or the feelings during the day. So that's another reason why it's important to me. So that's why I make the show. And then I guess I was going to talk about this. So here's the thing, because we have a pretty giant diversity of listeners. I just want to talk about these calculators and just try to parse this out. So once upon a time, at some point when I was in probably in high school. No, I guess grammar. I don't know. Sometime in the 80s. So grammar school or whatever they call it, elementary grade school. They came out with these calculators that were solar powered, but just like they have now. Like they say, hey, you got your house is solar powered. But these things actually worked. I mean, I don't know what the first or second generation was, but here's the thing. They were, as far as I remember, they were unbelievably low cost, the same cost as regular calculator. And these calculators worked even with just fluorescent lights in your classroom. They would work right away because a lot of times they had it, you'd open it up, it had like a leatherette thing or it had a button. Some had a battery and the solar power thing, and other ones only had the solar powered thing. And I realized at first this could be ridiculous, but I mean, this is kind of thing that why I make Sleep With Me. But pause for a second. You know, the whole thing with solar, the promise of solar energy, right? And I know we're getting there, but it's been this dream, like solar powered house, and then you could that your house is like kind of self sufficient with the sun, and you got battery to store it or whatever, and then you got solar powered other stuff. But we don't have a lot of other stuff that's solar powered. But you see, why, like, how the heck did they have, like, it's always this one thing. It's like, why was only the calculator? I think they probably had solar-powered watches. I don't know why those didn't take off. I mean, I guess it would have needed a battery, and maybe the battery technology wasn't there. But it just seemed like this perfect product. It actually worked almost all the time, even in dim light. I mean, am I just like out here on my own, or is anybody else like, that was so impressive? And even as a kid, I felt like I was using like I said, okay, we don't have lasers really, or, you know, flying cars or whatever, hover bikes or hover shoes. But you see, wow, I got this solar thing. And maybe that's why then everybody was like, why the heck aren't all our houses solar powered? So I don't know. I mean, it just makes me wonder why. Also, like I said, as great as calculators are, even the one that was, flirting with me earlier, whatever, keep them out of bed. Keep your calculators out of bed. I mean, unless you like, if that's a thing. I mean, if that's a thing for you, awesome. Holy moly. I mean, I guess I'm starting to wonder now. My back's sweating. You say, well, 1 + 1 = 2. The two of us here. See, it's right here on this calculator, my dear. And then I think you can put like words in there. Like maybe you could put love. If you had a Roman numeral calculator, you definitely could. Or like one of those scientific ones. But I never got that far in math to get to the scientific calculator. Or if I did, I said, well, I don't know if I'm going to. Anyway, so whatever your calculation is, give the show a few tries. I really hope it can help you. I really hope I can take your mind off stuff and help you fall asleep. I'm glad you're here. I really appreciate you coming by. I work really hard. I yearn and I strive. So thanks again for coming by. And here's a couple of ways I'm able to bring you the show twice a week. Thanks. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about the sponsor, Making Furnishing Easy. That's Feather. Now, I live in an apartment, and I've moved. I'll probably move again in the near future, and it's just moving is not fun. And a lot of my furniture is more transitional furniture, but now that I've been looking on that Feather website, I'm like, man, I really could go for a chest of drawers, a nice nightstand, a new rug, but then I don't have to worry about going to a store and getting it. How am I going to get it delivered? Feather has all that figured out, and it even gets better because it's affordable and simple. They've taken, like, they've really made furniture fit in the, whatever is it the 21st century or the 22nd century? I don't know. Feather's like the flying cars of furniture because I don't know if you knew this, but people who live in cities move like 6 to 8 times before they even hit their early 30s. And Feather is a furniture rental company designed for people who want to feel at home no matter how how often they move. And furnishing a one-bedroom can cost upwards of $6,000. With Feather, you could furnish a bedroom with high-quality, beautifully designed furniture for the cost of your monthly utility bill. I mean, you got to see this stuff Feather has. And their delivery team brings the furniture directly to your home in as little as 7 days. They handle all the heavy lifting, so you can go from an empty apartment to a fully furnished home without lifting a finger or assembling anything. And it's not just furniture. They have rugs, lamps, wall art, and more. And if you move to a new place with a different layout, Feather makes it easy to switch things up. You can get furniture that works for any space. And plus, by renting from Feather, you're choosing a sustainable alternative to fast furniture. You know, that's the kind of furniture I have. And I'm really excited to be upgrading my game with Feather. So get over to their website. Let me know what you think. Try a different way to furnish your home. Right now, Feather has an exclusive offer just for Sleep With Me listeners. And it's an amazing deal. If you go to livefeather.com and use the promo code SLEEP, you'll receive $500 off your first month. That's livefeather.com and use our promo code SLEEP for $500 off. That's livefeather.com and use that promo code SLEEP for $500 off. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about Daily Harvest. And, this year I'm refocusing on what it means to take care of myself, and it couldn't be easier than with Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest has been one thing that makes me feel better about my day and myself, whether it's a breakfast with a smoothie or having a Daily Harvest bowl for breakfast or lunch. Not only is it easy, it's delicious, and it's something I really, really feel good about. And my mind was blown recently with the sweet potato and wild rice hash bowl. Holy mackerel. It was so delicious. You got to get some of these like harvest bowls. I could go on and on and on, but I got to get to this ad read instead of talking about me and Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest delivers delicious food, all built on organic fruits and vegetables right to your door. It literally takes minutes to prepare, and I never have to think twice if the food I'm eating is good for me. Daily Harvest is ready when you are. Everything stays fresh in your freezer until you're ready to enjoy it, so you waste less food too. And there's no need to overthink any of your meals for the week with Daily Harvest. Smoothies for breakfast, crisp flatbreads for lunch or dinner, and food that's perfect for cooler weather, like their perfectly roasted harvest bowls and soups. Daily Harvest never uses preservatives, added sugar, or artificial anything. And they just launched their first ever plant-based milk collection, starting with almond milk. And that's spelled M-Y-L-K. Daily Harvest milk is made of only almonds and a dash of sea salt. That's it. Plus, I can actually stay stocked up since everything stays fresh until I'm ready to use it. So no mad dashes to the grocery store when I need almond milk for smoothies or to put a splash in my morning coffee. Daily Harvest is also committed to minimizing their environmental impact. They're in the process of transitioning to 100% compostable, recyclable, plant-based, and renewable fiber packaging. Daily Harvest is undeniably delicious, clean food without any of the prep. Get started today. Go to dailyharvest.com and enter the promo code SLEEPWITHME to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code SLEEPWITHME for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. That's dailyharvest.com and use Sleep With Me. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's Scoots here, and we're talking about, now, I guess this is, I'm always, comfortable revealing my imperfections and lack of knowledge, and my inability to grasp what penultimate means, because then I say, well, isn't it penta is 5, right? So, is one questions that I could have easily answered before I started recording, but they didn't come up till I sat down and hit record. 1, does penultimate mean second to last? 2, I guess it would be penta-ultimate if it was the 5th, ultimately the 5th episode of the season. That doesn't make any sense. You say penta-ultimate, is ultimate last, so penta would be before last, before the last, I guess is technically what ultimate. I'm not joking or doing this for effect. That's the first time I've processed a word in this way. So that would explain why I was having such trouble. Ultimate means last episode. And when it's used in this context of the season, penultimate, because you say penultimate episode of the second season. So it could mean the episode before last. I mean, maybe that's what it means. Because I always said, what in the heck when they say that? They say penultimate, fifth. I'm trying to do basic math in my head, and I said, well, how does that mean? Does that mean it's the 9th episode? That's really what I said. Like I said, and I said, no, this episode didn't have 10 seasons. So this could be considered the penultimate, if that's, but I don't know. Pentalobe, isn't that that's like the screwdriver you use if you got to fix your iPhone, right? I think that's though. Penultimate is just pent, like P-E-N-T. I'm like pent up, before up. There you go. Pent up means before steam comes out my ears. Wow. We're learning here tonight. Whoa, boy. And not only that, we're talking about season 2, episode 7, maybe the penultimate episode, chapter 15, though. If you're going just by chapters, it's just chapter 15. Okay, I hear you asking, Scoots, could you give us that in Roman numerals? So you'd go XV, right? Chapter XV, 10, 5, because IV's 4. Oh, no, so that'd be 10 minus 5. Oh, no, if it was XVX, I don't think there is VX. I think XV's right, maybe, I don't know. But let's do our run through here. We see them off. Razor Crest goes bye-bye. First you get the plus symbol. Then you have them off. You got something I want. Oh, this was really good, though. If you're really into this show, like I am, you see, like you get this callback that I didn't even realize till I watched the recap before, when I was doing my notes. You have something I want means to me more than you will ever know. Moff Gideon at the start, whatever, earlier this season or last season. At the penultimate episode last season, I think. Then we see Oso going flying with the Dark Troopers. Oso out previously. I already lost my spot here. Child in care. Oh, the child's gone. Till his return safely, we're in your debt. Take off. Previously on Mandalorian, child's gone. Oh, okay, hit rewind, I guess. Nod from, then Cara Dune, Marshal of the Republic. Let me throw you your badge. Can you rocate or locate Miggs Mayfeld? 50 years in the Coruscant chop fields. Then we could flash back to that episode with Miggs Mayfeld and Mando getting the best of him. That's an episode I got to rewatch. I really liked that episode. Talk about a standalone episode. It gets as standalone as you could stand alone. Like the cheese stands alone, that episode could stand alone. Okay, now, then you get the Lucasfilm and the Star Wars, goes to black. It went to black for a while, 50 years, Mando, Miggs, sound effects. It was so black for so long, I didn't forget that it starts with the Lucasfilm Star Wars thing. So I was like listening for sound effects. I said, was something coming? Is this a ship going to fly by? But it was the Lucasfilm thing. Then we do see a ship, a big prison ship. Then we see junk, we see walkers, we see droids, prisoner 34667, what, should we do it this way like we did last time? Let's do that. Well, I'll read a couple pages from my notes, then we'll go through some sequences. Descend and receive, I'm busy, salute Marshal Dune, rewind or something, let's go, follow Marshal Dune. 3 seconds to summer or 3 seconds to comply. 3 seconds to comply with summer. If I was like, back when I rode that horse, that's what I would say. When I rode a horse named Summer, that has nothing to do with this episode, or 5 seconds to summer. Where you taking me? Letter, camera, curtsy. That definitely doesn't say that. But that's what it looks like. Where you taking me? Letter, camera, curtsy. Stops when he sees Boba all painted. Boba's all painted up. Refurb. Boba went through a refurb, or Boba's armor did. Or Fett. Thought you were somebody else. Music. Oh boy. Mayfeld. Hey, Mando. Lar time. Why am I so lucky? Imperial sleeves, protocols. Imperial clearances and protocols. I knew that's what that said. Action music. Mayfeld looking back site title. Chapter 15, The Believer. This is a really good title, too, because it goes deep. You say, which believer does this refer to? And this is embarrassing. I said, is that a song by the Monkees or the Beatles or someone else? Because I feel like I'm left. How many lyrics could I get wrong in that song? Left out of my mind? Is that it? Wouldn't believer something, I don't know. Because speaking of which, in this episode, then we saw Mando's face. And then I was a believer. Oh boy, take off music, take off and rotate. Moff Gideon as his kid. Oh, the little green guy. Morak, lots of looks exchanged in the cabin. Felt or Fett? Oh no, Fett. Last name basis? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Copy that. Morak. Felt internal scan. Rhydonium, volatile and explosive like this one. Fett no like it. That was referring to Mayfeld's comments. Platform, go in quiet, clear look, green valleys, closer look, green valleys, get to the roof, XISB. Nope, wanted by the ISB. Mando scouts ship, fast talking. No going alone. Say goodbye to your little green friend. Won't be showing with my face. Juggernaut 5, Dune drops in and out. All right, so let's see what we actually see. So we see the prison ship going in, or I think it's a prison ship from last season. X-Wing getting lifted by a walker crane. Sparky Sparks and people working the scrapyard. Carthon chop fields. They're chopping up scrap. Then we have kind of a guard droid walks slowly, very, very, very gentle walking. Mayfeld, he's up on a box. He's standing on a box. 3, 4, 6, whatever, 6, 6, 7. What? 3, 4, 6, 6, 7, descend and receive new instructions. He's got goggles. I don't know if he was using them. And Mayfeld's in work outfit. At least they have nice, comfortable work outfits. And he has some sort of light up monitor on him. Cara Dune shows up. She says, yeah, I'm remanding 3, 4, 6, 6, 7. Affirmative. The droid also has what is it called? The alliance thing. What is she, a marshal from what? Oh, the Republic. Then they say, get moving with her. Mayfeld's kind of being rebellious. Then he gets reminded, hey, get moving, please. So he's like, where are you taking me, yo? And common courtesy to tell me where we're going. Oh, common courtesy. That's what I thought. Common courtesy. Then we have Fennec and Boba. Boba's like, yeah, Boba's all not shiny. He's very matte. Thought you were the other guy. Mando comes down. Mayfeld's smile wiped right off his face. He says, great weather, too, or factory smoke in this background. Hey, Mando. Can't even look him in the eye. Long time. What are you here for? And they said, we bent a lot of rules to come get you. Why am I so lucky? Because you're Imperial. Yeah, that was a long time ago. You know, the clearances and protocols, right? The stare down between, everybody get on board, punk. He's thoughtful, looks back. What should I do here? Sighs. And climbs on board. Then the intro starts. Then they take off slowly. And we get into the ship. It's rotating in this cool way. I don't know if the toy did that, but it's hypnotic. We need the coordinates from Moff Gideon's cruiser. No chance of that, buddy. Just leave me here. And they say he's got the kid. Oh, the green guy? Little green guy. Yeah, little green guy. So we need you to figure out where it is. He goes, well, okay, you gonna let me go? No. We'll give you a better view. What's in it for me? He says, he rubs his thighs. Huh. You can't just get those coordinates. I got to get a terminal. There's one on Morak. I say, Morak, there's nothing there. He goes, yeah, it's a mining hub, secret mining hub. Get me in there. I'll get the coordinates. So the Fett, he calls up Mando, Fett, get onto the Imperial, Morak. Weren't you listening in? No, let's listen to a podcast. Let's go. Fett's done a scan of the planet. He goes, yeah, this is the base, the refinery, eh? Yeah, wonder what they're refining in there. Rhydonium, volatile and explosive. That's where Mayfeld makes a joke. Fett does not appreciate it at all. He just stares right at him. Yeah, they got anti-aircraft cannon, security forces. So we're going to have to go in quiet, Mando says. Get a closer look. So then they head in. Another nice-looking planet. Very green. Got some fog. Then we see what turns out to be a dreadnought or something. They're kind of looking at it through their scopes. It's going into a tunnel. Mayfeld says, I just got to get in there quick and get it out. And then Boba Fett says, all right, I'll pick you up at the roof. We'll swap and then they say, okay, we'll swap out the drivers. But it's ISB watched, so we can't bring Cara Dune because she's on the New Republic register. You're going to be detected. So then you see some tension between the two of them. Kind of, then Shan says, no, I'm wanted by the ISB. Fett, I'm a clone, so no dice. Mayfeld solo, they say that's not going to work. You're not trustworthy. Mando looks at the cab and he says, oh, well, they're wearing helmets. I'll go. They go, yeah, how am I going to explain you in your suit? And he goes, he doesn't answer, actually. He goes, are you going to take your helmet off? Otherwise, I'll go in alone. And Mando says, you're not going alone. Coming with you. Everybody exchanges looks again, but I ain't showing my face either. Then we see the big rig, 5 wheels on each side, so 10 wheels on this big rig. You see the drivers, Juggernaut 5 going into tunnel T12. You're clear. Juggernaut 4 already went through it. They jump down on the roof, 3 of them. And, yeah, they go in, they hop down. Mando or somebody, Cara Dune gets on there, takes him out with authority, stops the driving. A lot of muddy things. They change into the things. Mayfield doesn't like it. The guy whose clothes he's taken were sweaty. And Mando comes out of the darkness dressed as a Imperial driver. Not quite a stormtrooper, but close. And Dune gets a laugh, says, yeah. He goes, just take out the rooftop gunners. We'll get out of here. We got your back. He gives her his armor. Keep an eye on this stuff. Keep it safe. I will. And then Mayfeld says, all right, we got to get moving here. What would they say on Mandalore, Mando? And Mayfield's still kind of goofy talking. Yeah, you got such a sunny disposition, he says to Dune. Then Mayfeld's driving. He tries to figure out all the controls. Okay, here we go. Starts it up, as they say. The 10 wheels on the big rig and get going. Very muddy. Kind of see another kind of thing, which is common from video games of don't rock the boat video games. Mayfeld tries to make talk. What's it like? Being in a different helmet. And he's like, I'm taking my helmet off. I don't like helmets. I don't know how people wear them. And he goes, like Mandalorians. I don't know how you do it. Mando's quiet. He's not taking the bait yet. They keep rolling, and we see Shand keeping an eye on things. She's, you get the sense, okay, she's one of our security blankets. She says, Fett, phase 1 complete, get ready. Fett's standing by. Big rig keeps rolling. Mayfeld's thoughtful and driving. He does keep his eyes mostly on the road. He goes, I mean, it feels better with the helmet off. Why don't you try it? He's very smarmy, but, you can see underneath. So he's saying, well, he makes this argument. We've all had this argument, especially in 2020 with different people about different subjects. They go through, they see the remnants of another big rig. Juggernaut 4, somebody is running hot, slow it down. 3, hit a couple bumps. Mandalorian says, don't even think about it. Just keep driving steady, get us to the refinery. And they keep riding, a little bumpy. They go through this town or village, and you see, oh, wait a second, this is the Empire still colonizing. And Mayfeld honks the horn and slows down, and you see the townspeople, and they say, man, really not doing a lot of good for us here. And Mando even makes eye contact with a young person. I mean, he has his helmet on. The kid really glares at him. Mayfeld says, yeah, no difference. Colonists are colonists. And they keep driving. We see the townspeople still walking. And then he says, oh, I'm just saying, some are ruling, some are rulers. He goes, look at the Mandalorians. You're going to be a tool or a rule? He goes, yeah, you get one thing if you're on Mandalore, one thing you're on Alderaan. He goes, yeah, but none of that, it matters anymore, man. He shrugs his shoulders. I'm a realist, a survivor, fan of the show and of doing it. Mandalorian, he goes, we're like Mandalorian goes, no, we're not. He goes, well, you change the rules when you want. You can't take your helmet off. You put a different helmet on, which is the rule. Like, no helmet or no face. Which one? Because there's a big difference. And I say, are you my uncle? Like, I think, or an aunt, I've had this conversation with my cousin, because everybody's got their lines until they have to change them. As far as I'm concerned, if you can sleep better at night, you're doing better than most. Then they say, okay, we're getting some route interference, but let's hop back to my notes again. See, Juggernaut 5, Dune drops in, takes him out, Mud Wheels, Mando, undercover. We got you. Take care of this. Keep it safe. Muddy Wheels. What would they say on Mandalore? 10 wheels on a big rig. Mando ices Mayfeld. Long tunnel. Out of tunnel. Fennec eyes on. Music, double exclamation point. Phase 1 complete copy. Feels better when it's off. Imperial damage. Running hot, don't worry. Drive steady. Horn on. Town of people. Mayfeld talks rules. I'm just a realist, a survivor just like you. Rule change, route interference. Study, buy of re-rate. J4. Stand by for reroute. J4. Juggernaut 4 out. Proceed with caution. Juggernaut 3 out. Pirates 1 down. Goes on roof 2 down. And then I move to how to defeat freedom fighters. Unfortunately, that you call pirates in, let me see how many steps. In 24 steps. So that was step 1, have Mando take 1 down from the roof, take 2 down, or no, 1 down. I don't even think he went on the roof. I think he leaned out the window. Then 2 down. 3, step 3, drive slow. Step 4, yell at somebody. Step 5, more trouble. 4 more on the roof. Hit one with a Nerf dart. Step 6, your Nerf darts. This is a game called Freedom Fighter, or not, or taking my freedom. So step 6, your Nerf gun jams, your Nerf toy jams. Send somebody overboard anyway with your with the staff. 7, flip over. So flip somebody else over. Step 8, javelin time, and someone goes overboard. That's 6 down. 9, drive fast. 10, skiff number 3. 11, find out the faster's not good. 12, duck. 12, duck, so somebody gets knocked off. So it's kind of like a balance game they're playing now. 13, baseball. Use a baseball method to get somebody off. Alarms, takedown. 14, flip, fell, oh boy. 15, stuck, oh, trouble by. Head back, head butt backwards, then flip them, then do like kind of like a round spin kick. Then detractor throw, detonator throw. Step 17, you got to stop for a second. Step 18, more skiffs. Also, my side hurts. Action music. Step 19, take a deep breath. Get up. 5 more skiffs are coming. Step 20, get ready. Oh, TIE fighters came. Step 21, Mayfeld cheers. Step 22, roll into the den of the Empire. Groan. Not from the Empire, but from, Mando groans from all the work he did. 23, lots of salutes. Fennec and Dune are impressed. 24, Giddy Heroes welcome. Cheers, glory of the Empire. Find a tunnel act, cook. Officer's mess, my handwriting. Street fan. Number 2, then we have another go through. But that's our first 24 step plan. But not our last plan of the episode. Okay, so this is Mayfeld. Then they're looking for the reroute. Some poofy poofs in the sky, fireworks even. Juggernaut 4, stop to look at the fireworks. But you're supposed to get the Rodonium there without going over into the red zone. Rerouting course, it's challenging. Juggernaut 3, also looking at fireworks. So now you got to get there. Go around. Oh boy, that's when the skiffs are coming. So this is a video game, I think, a simulation. One jumps on. What in the hey? Mando looks in the rear view camera. Pirates. You ever see the movie Ice Pirates? No, Scooter saw it when he was a kid, but he hasn't seen it since then. One person jumps. Mando stops them with a Nerf dart. Then he goes on the roof. I think it looks like he leaves the window. Oh, no, the window's auto window. It closes on its own. Mando hops up there. Person's looking. Mando takes him out with a Nerf dart. That's 2. Oh, and a whole skiff goes out because of the detonator. But Juggernaut goes into the red zone. Mayfeld has to slow down. Gets it in the green zone. He says, I wish you would have left me behind. Mando is about to go back to the cab when he sees 2 more skiffs. And they say, yeah, let's mess with this. 1, 2, 3, 4 people drive. So 4 dancers and 1 right off by Mando. That's when his Nerf gun jams, throws it, does a dance with 1 person, and manages to remove him off the front. Then he gets hit from behind and on the side, but then catches it and does a little flippy poo. That guy goes by gets off the ship willingly. And then the Mando does a javelin. That we get all those gone. So 6. He says, pick it up, drive faster, Mayfeld. Holy moly. Mayfeld tries to pick it up. They're still coming. 4 more in a skiff. They hit the gas. Alarm's going off because the Rhydoniums. No, faster's not going to work, Mando. So we figure out a new plan. Next 4 hop on Mando. I guess they don't realize they're dealing with the Mandalorian because, so he goes 2-on-1. Takes a little bit of effort. Then it's 3-on-1. But he does some ducks, couple butts, couple flips, couple turns, serious action. Another person comes, does a shoulder thing. Then does that guy, doesn't quite fall off. So that's when Mando does a reverse headbutt. And they're kind of in a bit of trouble because they're pretty close with the thermal thingamajig. You got to set it to less. Dude goes, everybody off the skiff. They're like, we're tangling with this Mandalorian. One person looks like they have yarn, like some sort of like rebel yarn thing. But Mando deals with that, deals with the Skiff 1 and Skiff 2. So that's it for them. Then you could see the rebel, I guess it's Imperial base. I got to slow down. Can't cross at this speed. Then you see a bunch more. How many skiffs more? And they all have 1, 2, they all have detonators. 3, 4. Mando's side hurts. He's dealt with a lot already. You see an old rickety bridge they have to cross. And Mayfeld's going to have to slow down. 5 skiffs. Mando gets up, though. He's not afraid. I'm not scared. That's when the TIE fighters come. They start clearing the way. But then, like, a bunch of other Empire people or whatever remnants come. And we see Dune, and they're in a couple different kinds of gear. And they're definitely, they're doing it colony style, colonial, whatever, imperialists. Mando gets back in the cab. The base looks pretty rickety, like it's built into an old factory or whatever it is, a refinery. But this side of the refinery, it's built into a dam. Then they're getting all the salutes from everybody, even though Mayfeld doesn't have his helmet on. Most everybody else does. Luckily, I guess to drive one of these juggernauts, you got to be an officer. So they all get saluted. They roll into the parking area. Everybody's cheering. Even the refinery workers with everybody. It's like a big party. They get out of the ship. Glory of the Empire. Whoopee woo woo. Way to go that you got this unstable material in here. Nice job. People are clapping them on their backs. You see that a lot of the stormtroopers have worn down equipment. Some are shiny, but most of them are like the ones from the previous season. You say, well, these are, remnants for sure. You see some more officers saluting them, maybe some water storage. And then Mayfeld says, okay, I see an ATM. That's what we got to really use. That's how we exchange secret messages is like an ATM. It's like find my friends, but in an ATM. Find my frenemies. Okay, so this is the next step plan. How many steps is it? Good question. This is a 38 step plan to get the address for find my frenemies and get out. Access. So 1 is go into the officer's mess, Mayfeld. 2, see my old jerk boss. Can't do it. Valen, Father Hess or something. Valen or Fallon. I said Valen or Fallon Hess. Oh, yeah, like the truck. Let's just forget the whole thing. No, we're too close. Can't lose the kid. 3, give me the data stick. 4, it's got to scan your face. Let's go. Give me the data stick. Step 5, walk in slow like. Do a nod and salute to tense music. Step 6, something error. You got to take your holy helmet off. Complete downloading. Step 7, if you're Mayfeld, pace around. Also get interrupted by some officer in the officer's mess that says trooper, and you try to say, yo, I'm at the ATM, man. Don't talk to people when they're at the ATM. That's like No matter if you're in the galaxy now or far, far away. Like, I could be sending a message to my bae or something, like, or getting out. I could try to remember my PIN number. Like, don't. It's like kind of like when you're like, yeah, like there's other things that you start and then someone interrupts you in a public space and you say, well, now I can't go. Like, pee-pee, or remember my ATM thing. Or, yeah, say, sorry, sweet cakes. This is old Brown Eyes calling. Step 10. Oh, boy, hey, you, pay attention. We'll get more of the details here, but then TK number, TK111. This is my buddy. I'm like Mayfeld covers it. He's hard of hearing. Step 12. Make something up. He's hard of hearing. We call him Brown Eyes. Step 13. Let's break. Oh, you're not dismissed. Step 14. Table troopers delivered shipment only. Success. Come with me. Let's get a drink, Brown Eyes. 15. Branching scouts. Take out. Oh, this is our team members scouting it out. Gotta take out those cannons later. No problem. By the way, what's taking so long? Well, it's step 16. Let's have a toast. Let's toast something less rote. How about this, Mayfeld passive-aggressively to aggressively, Operation Cinder and Burnin' Con. Step 18, keep it going. The whole city and everybody, 5 to 10,000. Well, they're all heroes. Are you trying to get at something? Now, step 19, what about the mud scuffers that wanted freedom? Was it good for them? Well, we've outlasted them. I guess you don't like it when someone else is, trying to bring relativity to what you dislike, eh? We can create chaos. They think they want freedom, but they want order. Step 21, lots of looks exchanged. Step 22, open your arms and officer out. Step 23, oh boy, gosh, bagosh. By the way, I never saw your face. Put your helmet on. Step 4, let's get out of this, clear out this mess hall. Step 25, go out the windows. Step 26, this is where I wrote, damn, because they're on a dam. Step 27, our backup is sniping. That's good. Step 28, we're out. Step 29, climbing music. Step 30, support in effect, exclamation point. Step 31, let's move. Step 32, let's catch a ride. Jump on board, everybody. Step 33, the base is out. Step 35, surprise, to sleep at nights. Step 35, company, hang on. Step 36, let's drop one of those sonic depth charges. Step 37, yeah, that was good work. Step 38, thanks and good luck. Nice job, and too bad we lost track of you. Hit the road, Jack. Can I go? I will. Okay, this would be step 40. Then step 41, what's our next move? Step 42, takeoff music. And then the secret message to Moff. So let's see, so hopping back to the episode. Mayfeld goes in, sees Fallon Hess or whatever talking at the table, who looks up, he bounces back out. Can't go in there. Old boss, he's a jerk. VALIN. Don't know if he'll recognize me, but can't take the chance. It's all over. No, well, we can do it, Mando says. No, we can't. And he says, I need those coordinates. Give me the stick. No, it's not going to work, Mando. The boss is looking at them. And he says, you got to have your face scanned to get online. And he says, let's just leave. Mandalorian says, give it to me. Forget it. I go in there. So he walks in real slow, unsure, looks around, sees the ATM access terminal. The Valen he gives a general salute, but Valen is still watching him. Wonder if he's calling somebody. Maybe I should, give him a hassle. Mando tries one shot with his helmet on. The machine says, gotta scan your face. So he does it. He takes it off, and we say, holy cow. Say, what was that, Bravos or somewhere else? And he gets it. Facial scans complete. Pops the data stick in. Gets the info he needs. Mayfeld's pacing outside, and Mando's waiting. Of course it's buffering. That's when that guy says, yo, you at the ATM are sending a message. He even stands up. Says, I'm talking to you. And Mandalorian says, I'm trying to send my girlfriend a message or something. My green kid, pay attention. And he says, what kind of supervisor would interrupt somebody while they're at a machine? Really? I mean, they like talk about, and he says, what's your TK number, son? I don't like you. He says, TK number, man. Why are you getting all technical? So I don't even know if you have, and he says, TK 593. That's when Mayfeld, I'm TK 111. He says, how'd you get TK 111? Because this guy lost pressure into nab, so he can't hear. That's why I call him Brown Eyes. He says, what's your name? He raises his voice. Goes, yeah, we just call him Brown Eyes. I'm better at thinking up stuff on the spot. We gotta go fill out our TPS reports. And that's when the dude says, not dismissed, of course. And boss walks around and says, come on, get a drink with me, Brown Eyes. And he goes, you're the only two successful delivery drivers in the whole outfit today. Wouldn't you just send them back out for another delivery? I don't know. But he says, come on, let's have a seat. And Mayfeld's like, you got to be kidding me, man. Same with Mandalorian is. Then we see the back up, looking over the ledge, checking everything. There's even nice flowers. So they talk about their plan, got to take this out, and so don't worry, it shouldn't be a problem. Wonder what's taking so long. That's when Hess says, what are we going to toast to? He's got some sort of liquid that is like a cloudy, clear liquid. You say, okay, something a little less rote. This guy thinks of himself as like a real know-it-all. Where are you from, Brown Eyes? And he goes, and then Mayfeld interrupts, how about Cinder, Operation Cinder? And the dude goes, yeah, I know, history. Mayfeld goes, well, no, history, I was there. Burning Khan. Oh, really? That was a tough day. Many unpleasant decisions I made. Probably how you ended up commanding like an outpost in the middle of nowhere, by the way. Well, a whole division, and you're drinking during the day. No offense, buddy, but what kind of officer? We find out. Oh, heroes of the Empire. This guy's a real believer in the Empire. We kind of see that Mayfeld kind of is, trying to figure out his belief system in some sense. Whatever you call that, relative, yeah. And he says, yeah, what about all those people that were there? He goes, oh, well, that's what the, Empire and Order's for. Mud scuffers, defending their houses, for freedom. And that's when the guy says, it's not about freedom. It's about, we cause chaos. People think they want freedom. We give them order. He goes, yeah, that's where we're getting stronger, buddy. And this Rhydonium delivered, that's what we're going to use. So nice work at getting it delivered here. And then Mayfeld's like, oh boy, what did I do? He's got a tummy ache. You could see him. Actually, I didn't realize how much of a facial, because when the volume's off, you really can see how much action's in their faces. So Mayfeld gets a double tummy ache as he processes this guy, Valen Hess, who's, he should be in the Carthon chop fields. He goes to the Empire, and Mayfeld goes, bye-bye. And then Mando goes, I can't believe you just did that. Mayfeld goes, I can't believe you just did that. Somebody just got a drink. He goes, bye-bye. Everybody goes, bye-bye. Mando goes, let's go out the windows. Everybody starts going here. I never saw your face. Let's do this. So everybody says, up, security to main commons. So then they say, okay, we got to go out. Let's go out this window. Mando, they kick out one of the doors, so right at the top of the dam. That's when you say, that's a dam. Water's flowing, but they have backup. So once they get outside, they're in good shape, and then they try to find a way to climb up, which they're looking at. This is a nice little action sequence, and it's great with the setting and the different layers of action. Boba takes off. Boba gets ready. Heads over there. Mayfeld's climbing. Mando says, go faster. You got Fennec and Dune. I mean, Fennec's like really effective. But they have their squad covered. So he says, climb faster, man. Mando says, climb faster. Then we see Boba's ship coming in. There's a little bit of a race to get on the ship, but you know that they're covered. So it's more of like pulse pounding, but not heart pounding. Get a couple of good shots of Mando's fresh armor. His ship definitely needs a paint job. They hop on. They get away. Or as they're about to get away, Mayfeld says, hey, give me that cycler thing. And he takes the base out with this old-fashioned Boba thing, I guess on their truck. I didn't see him back in, but that's it for the base. And this cool base goes by. We all need to sleep at night. Bye-bye, base. Then a couple, I guess the same two or what are those things called? TIE fighters come. Boba says, hold on. We got company, but, something I can deal with, no problem. So he's getting chased, but he's got that sonic thingamajig, which works great. So he sends that back there, and no more TIE fighters. Really cool fireworks. And Dune and Shand are like, okay, impressive. They go hike back to the rendezvous point. We got a rendezvous. That's when they say, well, Mayfeld got away. I guess, he didn't make it through with the base. That was good work. Him and Dune have, they come to good terms. He says, good luck on getting your kid back, Mando. Also, do you see that I got an affinity scarf now? Looks pretty sharp on me. Don't know if he had it earlier. I don't think he had it earlier. He had new clothes, too. He says, sorry, I was a jerk. I was just trying to get some stuff off my chest. And that's when they let him go. And I said, well, that'd be an interesting spot. I mean, I guess Mayfeld's kind of he's made it in so many different worlds so that, he'll be able to be fine on his own, but it wouldn't be an ideal spot. You said, can you slip me like $100 or something and a fake ID, please, or drop me off somewhere? But he's just happy to be free. And then she says, what's our next move? Then we have the takeoff music. Then we see the Moff in the Moff's ship. Officers call him. They go, boss, you got to see this thing. And this is a really good reveal. The first time I said, that's familiar, but this was really cool. I mean, just such a cool move by Mando, but then to use his words against him. And the Moff sighs at the end, I think. But let's see. They say, sir, you got to see this message. This hologram came in, and it's Mando. He says, Moff Gideon, you have something I want. You may think you have some idea of what you're in possession of, but you do not. Soon he will be back with me, and he means more to me than you will ever know. And Mafia, he takes a deep breath through his nose. That's just so cool. Then we get the end plates. Scrap heap is number 1. Number 2 is the Dreadnought, 10 wheels on the big rig, heading out in this one. Then Mando and Mayfeld climbing on board or falling off the Dreadnought. Then Shand and Dune, in action. Then Moff Gideon listening to Mando's message. Then the base, from above, that's 6. Then 7, Mando versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Pirates, then a shot from behind the Dreadnought with another Dreadnought going bye-bye. Big boom truck, then a parade skiff, a pair of skiffs, and then a Dreadnought on like a convoy. Yeah, convoy, double exclamation point, that's 10. And then 11, them jumping on to Boba Fett's ship. And that's the end of the episode for me, but I'm going to turn things over here to Wendy Marstrap. Wendy? Thanks, Scoot. Hey, everybody. My name's Wendy Marstrap. It's windy like the wind. And Marstrap, I wonder how I got my last name. Marstrap, M-A-R, strap, one word. Marstrap, M-A-R-S-T-R-P, Wendy Marstrap. Mr. Marstrap, if I was in your world and I was applying for something, I'd say I'm Mr. Marstrap, yeah. Or if Dewey started, if there was a funny story where I came to your world and Dewey, my do-pet do-back, went to school like Baby Oso did in this season, I'd say, this is Mr. Marstrap. This is my child, Dewey, the do-back. Do you have, can you fit a do-back? But, Dewey's a smart do-back, but school wouldn't be good for do-backs or Dewey. Okay, so a couple things one thing Scooter said, Dewey, do you mind doing something that's not from the Star Wars universe for first? And I said, sure. So Hess trucks, each year they put out a new Hess truck. A couple of people in Scooter's family, but not Scooter, played with Hess trucks and got them. And they've been selling them since 1964, small replicas of their trucks as a thank you to customers. And the first one sold for $1.39. 2014 was the final one to be sold at Hess gas stations before they transitioned to Speedway gas stations. 2015, they've been for sale online, and Speedway sells them. There have been several non-truck ones. There's been a tanker ship, a patrol car, a helicopter, a SUV with motorcycles, a race car with a racer, a helicopter, truck. But yeah, they've been going every year, apparently. Holy moly. Miniature trucks as well, plush toys and limited editions. And sometimes they're donated. They were even a toy truck float from 2003 to 2014. And in 2018 and 2019, Hess Corporation donated Hess toy trucks and STEM education kits to every elementary school in North Dakota. So that's a little bit about Hess trucks. Then Morak, Scooter said, could you tell them about Morak? I said, sure, let me look this up on the Wikipedia. So it's a jungle planet inhabited by humans. It's a secret mining hub that we saw 9 ABY. That was the year where we were there. And the refinery went bye-bye. So that's a little bit about Morak. I know Scooter wanted me to cover a couple other things. Yeah, but I'm glad you're here with me. It's very nice to be here. Oh, let's see. So, Miggs Mayfeld, Fennec Shan. Oh, Boba Fett's ship. That was the last thing I think I'm supposed to cover. It's a Boba Fett ship. It was used in Empire and the Mandalorian, and also by his father Jango in Attack of the Clones. It resembles the shape of a street lamp, but its inspiration was a radar dish. It's a modified fire spray class patrol craft, according to Wikipedia, produced by Quat Systems Engineering. It's unique in design. It has a distinct engine cluster on which the ship rests when landed, but in flight, the ship rotates 90 degrees so that the top-mounted cockpit faces forward. It has artificial gravity, which reorients depending on what flight mode you're on, stabilizer fins, side repulsor lifts to assist with landing. It saw only limited production because it was too heavily armored for civilian use, but too underpowered for Quat's home fleet and too reliable for post-sale maintenance business. Jango Fett chose the vessel because of its anonymous appearance, but it was heavily modified. And Boba Fett made additional modifications, secret sensor jamming and masking device that enables the ship to disappear from most sensor systems. And, twin blasters, concussion missiles, ion cannons, tractor beam, torpedo launchers. So that's a little bit about that ship. And let me just see if there's anything else you should know about here. But yeah, other than that, dewbacks are great. Moff Gideon, Grogu. I think that's it. So I'm Dewey the Dewback. Whether you're driving a Hess truck or a fire spray ship, I hope you're driving it and getting the rest you need. Good night. I want to thank everybody that became a patron recently. Corey, Marion, and Claire, thank you. Thanks. Good night. Bob, Lucy, and Robert, thank you. Thanks. Good night. Lindsay, Kim, Christy, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Cameron, Alexis, and Jeremy, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Brian, E, and Lee, thank you. Thanks, good night. Lisa, Sarah, and Leslie, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Kyla, Candy, and Collie, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Mike, Catherine, and Driva, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Sean, Risa, and Stephanie, thank you. Thanks, good night. Alexandra, Arish, and Bruno, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Harold, Emily, and Simon, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Mark, Jose, and Kevin, thanks, and good night. RPN, Robert, and Sydney, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Emily, Carlos M, and Jean, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Ramona, Tenley, and Carrie, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Marta, Kyle, and Lauren, thank you. Thanks, and good night. Jennifer, Lisa Marie, and Eliza, thanks, and good night. Corey, C, thank you. Thanks, and good night. And Laura and Lee, thank you. Thanks, and good night. It's GH, there's one double E and then one GH Lee. Thanks, everybody. And good night. So we actually exist a free show because of people that support the sponsors or support the show, like I just listed on Patreon. We grow as a podcast by people just sharing the word of mouth about podcasts in general or about the show. We have a new referral program. You can test out at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. And that's it. Thanks and good night. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, BetterHelp. If you've been having trouble meeting your goals or difficulty with relationships, trouble sleeping, or you're feeling stressed or depressed, BetterHelp is available. BetterHelp offers online professional counselors who can help and listen. And you simply fill out a questionnaire to assess your needs. BetterHelp will match you with your own professional licensed therapist. And you can start communicating with them in under 48 hours. And this isn't self-help or a crisis line. online. This is secure online professional counseling. BetterHelp's counselors have a broad range of expertise, so if it's not available locally, that's the amazing thing about BetterHelp. They can match you with a professional licensed counselor with an area of expertise you're looking for. The service is available for clients worldwide. You can log in anytime. I keep hearing from listeners that sign up how much they love that they're able to send unlimited messages to their counselor, and then they get timely and thoughtful responses back. Plus, you can schedule your video or phone sessions, and everything you share is confidential. You don't have to worry about sitting in a waiting room. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so it's easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling. Financial aid is available. And in fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. And therapy has been a huge part of my life with the right licensed therapist. It took me a while to find the right person, but I can look back at milestones in my life over the past 8 years and these major turning points. And that counselor was there as I journeyed from one phase to the next. They were giving me the tools in the toolbox. They were listening to me when I just needed someone to talk to and to talk stuff out with. And it's changed my life. I'm so grateful for the professional relationship I have with my therapist. And this podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Sleep With Me listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. Now that's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. And you can join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced BetterHelp professional. Thanks, everybody. Oh, hey, everybody. Scoots, this is interesting after hours of the podcast here. I just want to let you know we got this referral program up and running. If you're ever looking for, right now we have this thing going for the Peace Top 3 shares in January, February, March. We'll get a pair of sleep phones with a Sleep With Me logo on it. If you refer people to sign up and list to actually become subscribers of the podcast, you can do that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer, REFER, I think is how you spell that. And if you just say, no, I just want a set of sleep phones, you can get those at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones. Now we have all 3 models of sleep phones, all different size headbands, all with the Sleep With Me logo. You can get those over at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep phones and use Sleep With Me at checkout, and you'll get a little bit off your order. Thanks and good night, everybody. Thanks.